Okay, so this is the plot we're working with, and it's really difficult because the system's really slow. What we have is we've got 20,000 observations and then another 20. So we essentially have 40,000 observations in this space, and so the system actually gets to be really bogged down when you make even minor changes. So we'll try to keep the changes to the minimums here, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on this, and let's make the chart size bigger. Let's get rid of the maintain aspect ratio. Let's make these 400 by 800. We have a lot of observations in there, so maybe if we make it bigger, that'll help a little bit. So we're going to click on that and apply and let it run. Good. So let's go out here. We need to fix these labels. So I'm going to make those 10s. Click on those. All right, good. And let's take this top one. I'm going to call this firefighter injury. Okay. That's good there. And this one just predicted prob. Okay, that's good. Let's see if we can get this to work in that corner over there. Should be able to click down here and pick up the whole thing. Yeah, that may work. Let's try this. No, that's not exactly what I want. That's what I wanted. So if you get a box that looks something like that, that's what we want. So go over there and put that right corner on the end. Take this one. Take this one over here. Nah, don't do that. Solve process and being patient and let it work. So if we go to something like that, we'll probably space it out the way that I want it to go. Alright, that's okay there. Let's do this, and then let's go down like that. And it should put them in. That's exactly what I wanted. So firefighter injury and predicted probability. I wanted a box that looks something like that. And let's see. You're not going to believe this, but my mouse just went crazy. This thing goes nuts whenever it does it. Alright, good. Now click back. Alright, so let's do this one. Let's click down here in this corner underneath that edge. Usually you can get the same thing here. And then let's just pull that one out to be about there. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, so let's click on this one. Double click it. Alright, that'll get us over here to the properties window. And we'll have to do these really quick. Again, it's really slow because it's got a lot of different things. Alright, so I'm going to do 20,000 with a 5,000 major increment, 0 custom, and I'll keep that 5%. It should be enough to put this right in the edge, I think. But if not, we'll apply it and see what it does. Yeah, that's about right. That doesn't look too bad. So that's just the number, the sequence of observations. let's go over here and let's click on this one. Let's go, and you can use this particular one. I think that that's okay. 0 to 1 major increment is going to be, let's just do 0.25. That with origin 0, display on an origin not necessary. 5 plus or minus 5. We'll do that. Alright, so that's not bad there. The other thing that we need to do is we need to go over here in number format, decimal places. Let's make it 1 decimal, or actually make it 2 decimal places. Apply. Okay, so good. We've got, this is kind of our values here. And let's adjust this. Let's make those 11 like we always do. Okay, so that made it bigger. Let's click on these. Make these 11 as well. Wow, this is slow. Alright, so the last thing that we want to do is we want to change a little bit of these symbols. And I'm going to show you a way to make this look a little bit better. Alright, so let's double click it once, double click it. First thing we want to do, let's change this border to black. Actually, I don't want them black. I want them gray. Them something like that. Maybe even I want them like that. Apply there. Alright, so you see how that looks? I'm going to change it from a 0 to an X. I'm going to make them size 15. And I'm going to make the border width about 2. So I want to make these really big. Let's see how long it takes to do that. All right. And then what I'll do is I'll make these a completely different. I'm going to make these really small. And you'll see how it looks. Here, I'm going to make the borders black. So I'm going to click on the border, make it black, and I'm going to click on fill and make it black. I'm going to make this circle, circles are fine, but I want them all the way down to 3. I want it really narrow, and I want it with, I don't know, border width of 2. It should just give me a little black dot. See how that works? And so what we get is this really small incremental increase from 0, but it's just not moving much, and then you get all the way out here in the very last tails, it starts moving up. That's essentially what we did. If we were going to fit a better functional form to it, it would start here, and then it would break maybe around here, and then it would go back up there and fall into that asymptotic series up there. But that doesn't, that's just shows us that we've got a little bit of a, it's not the best model fit, but that's fine. And I think this is a good plot to show that. And it's also a good plot to show you what the model's doing. Remember, we have this observations. We have this data on firefighter observations. It's taken a flexible functional form and trying to fit it to it. And it just fit this particular functional form to that observed data. We might do better with this with a model that could better fit this kind of distributions. Okay, good. Okay, so we ran the model specifications. We started with descriptive statistics. We went through, did the crosstabs to figure out the null category that we were going to leave uncontrolled for, and which ones we thought we might have to drop. We ran an initial model specification, right? And then we ran a second model specification that was that had dropped those kind of problematic variables. This is where we got it. And this is going to be the observations where we do the betas and the standard errors and our significance tests, right, that allow us to reject the null. This is the correlation table that we'll use for the assumptions, and then this graph we're going to use the analysis section. So this will be your output file, and we'll save it. We'll save this right now. Let's just save it as, let's go up to desktop. Let's save it as project 2 version 001. Project 2 output version 001. Let me dash this, we'll just put V001. Okay, good. We'll leave off there. I've got a couple things to figure out, and then I'm going to write this up. The one thing I want to do is I looked at the residuals on these. Part of the residuals look weird because we have this under dispersion situation. Right? We have a zero inflated situation in terms of those event count models. But I may look at doing some residual plots. I may not. And so we may have one more variable after this, or one more lesson video after this, or we may not. I'll give you a template just like I did last time. We'll go in and fill it. We'll do the analysis section. We'll reject the null, etc. And then we'll talk about kind of predicted probabilities in the model, and go from there. Okay, good. I'll close, and I'm going to stop the video.